Well, I do appreciate Jerry Jones's comment. God, it was hard to say, but
Yeah.
hey, he earned it, man. He said, am I voting against the Eagles having an advantage because I don't like the Eagles? Basically, heck yeah. I mean, like, yeah, Jerry, that you definitely should be voting against it. Of
Yeah.
anybody else, you should be the one voting against it.
Right. No,
And if
totally.
you did it, you're gonna have some Cowboy fans turn on you real quick.
First off, the Buffalo Bills are going to be on Hard Knocks this season for the
Yeah.
preseason. It's the first time their franchise will be featured on Hard Knocks. Um, I mean, when you think about it, like the biggest question mark I think right now is like who's going to step up at receiver, and is uh is James Cook going to actually going to show up? How's he going to show up? Because he's doing the hold in for the contract situation. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's just from the outside. That's what I'm familiar with the Bills. James Cook got me to the fantasy championship game last year, so I'm plugged into him. But other than that, they're on the other side of the coast, and obviously they're good, but they keep falling short. Kind of reminds me of my own team, so like I feel a little bit of kindred spirit there, I guess. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be a few teams, right? I think the Eagles are announced to be a part of it as well on an episode. So um, I don't think it's all Buffalo Bills, but it is centered around them. But I think it's kind of what they
they're
did the
going to be the
last couple of
focus.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the focal point, as from what I understand in the brief
Well,
little thing that showed up on my phone before I swiped it away.
the Buffalo Bills and a bunch of other teams can get one of these bad boys because they all try to vote against the Tush Push. So
Yeah, that's where I was heading to next. The Tush Push survives. We thought it was gonna be gone. We thought the NFL was getting soft, but the Eagles, with the support of 9 other teams, they're able to keep the Tush Push alive for at least one more season. You had the Ravens, the Browns, the Lions, Jaguars, Dolphins, Patriots, Saints, Jets, and Titans. So it sounds like the Eagles and the Ravens and the Lions, oddly enough, they kind of came together and got a bunch of bottom dwellers to join them in their push for whatever reason.
well, I think I
I'm
think
not.
I think the Jaguars voting. I think Doug Peterson third degree connection there kind of helped out, and I think the Lions same thing, third degree connection there going on with some coaches there. But I will say it is the one of the interesting stats is a lot of the teams that voted against it are on the Eagles' schedule this year, to the exception of the Lions. So hats off to the Lions. Stick taps around for them.
Yeah, yeah,
I have just kind of perused around the internets, and look, it's not like overwhelmingly like, oh, we're so upset, but it seems like a lot of fan bases whose team voted against the Tush Push are just a little bummed that their team didn't have the moxie to feel like they could figure out how to stop it. What are your
yeah.
sentiments about your team voting against
Well,
it?
Uh, like Jed York is, I mean, he's gotten better as an owner, but I still don't trust him, and like he doesn't have his pulse, to the ground for like the fan level. And I'll tell you what, I'm not thrilled that he voted against it. I've been on this show saying, hey, we're one of the teams that, didn't perfect stopping it, but we did a lot better at stopping it than a lot of other teams
Mm-hmm.
in recent years. This last year, notwithstanding, because the entire team basically fell apart last year. But that being said, I'm glad it's sticking around. I'm glad that Jed York is in the wrong, is he's not getting what he wants. Let's phrase it like that. He's not getting what he wants out of that. Uh, and I think he was trying to, trying to be selfish, take away a weapon from another team, because Brock Purdy's not a, mobile rushing type quarterback. He can scramble a bit and he can make some noise, and he's he can cut loose a little bit. But he's not, Jalen Hurts squatting 8,000 pounds. Uh so that
I guess one of my
if it
favorite
doesn't
takeaways,
benefit
though.
the Niners, he's voting against it, I guess. And that was probably
Yeah,
the mindset he went in with. It's soft. I don't
yeah.
like it, but
That's
It's still
essentially,
around.
guys. A lot of fans thought it was soft that
Mhm.
their ownership
Yeah.
voted
Yeah.
against it,
I'm
but
calling Charmin, man.
yeah, yeah.
I'm calling Charmin on the play. Like it is soft.
Well, I do appreciate Jerry Jones's comment. God, it was hard to say, but
Yeah.
hey, he earned it, man. He said, am I voting against the Eagles having an advantage because I don't like the Eagles? Basically, heck yeah. I mean, like, yeah, Jerry, that you definitely should be voting against it. Of
Yeah.
anybody else, you should be the one voting against it.
Right. No,
And if
totally.
you did it, you're gonna have some Cowboy fans turn on you real quick.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so that being said, you get to keep running your fun little play for 3rd and 1. It's not exciting football. I'll say that. It's not
No,
exciting, but also to like when there hasn't been any proven danger to try to rule that it's a dangerous play and try to get eliminated that way.
there's only
Soft.
been one player that got hurt, okay, and
Hmm.
it came in the Super Bowl because Chris Jones thought it was a great idea to line up sideways, and then he got trampled over, and his neck
Yeah.
got hurt.
Yeah, well,
That's human error. That ain't football.
yeah, that was he was trying something different and that different didn't work. So
Yeah.
um
So,
let's give a RIP to Jim Irsay. He passed away this last week. He's the owner of the Colts. It sounds like he already kind of had a succession plan in place with his daughters. Like they were all have been, basically running the team the last decade while he's just kind of been a figurehead anyway. So
yes.
so functionally I don't see much changing for the Colts. It's still the day-to-day operation type stuff. That's they're not going to be affected in any way
Are
as far as
you
that is concerned. It
are
sounds
you
like
go ahead.
go ahead.
Are you saying this year, not you're saying, just just bouncing off of you here. Let's say Anthony Richardson does not have a good year this year. You cutting
Yeah.
ties and you're calling him a bust, or you're
Yes.
saying, okay.
Yeah. No, I already think he is a bust. I would have cut ties already if I'm being honest. I wouldn't have drafted him because he was way too inaccurate. And people that show up like Josh Allen did with the accuracy problems, they don't do what Josh Allen did normally.
Yeah,
Like
that's an
they
anomaly.
just stay inaccurate and then they turn into a bust. So yeah, he's the exception, not the rule, and Anthony Richardson is kind of proving that. Um, I will say I listened to a different podcast. It's called Sports Bitches, actually, and one of the women on that show, Megan Gailey, she's a stand-up comedian, and she's actually from Indiana, and the
Okay.
Colts are her team, and so she actually talked a little bit about this, this situation because Jim Irsay, passed away, and so she said like, obviously he had his demons and whatever, but he was very open about it, and it sounds like a
Yes, he
lot of the
was.
fans. He was open about it and he was up front and he was always like, out at like homeless shelters, like handing out cash and stuff and like taking care of that kind of stuff. And it sounds like he was, for being a billionaire, he was, fairly good to the community by and large.
Yeah,
Not a
he
lot of
was.
people complained about him. So
I, I'm in another fantasy football group that I've been with for about 14 years now. Wow, time flies. One of them is a resounding Colts fan through and through. He bleeds blue. Um, yeah, he said the same thing. I mean, like Jim Irsay he was up front, but the thing with Jim Irsay is that he could also fly off the handle any minute, any moment.
right. Yeah.
Like the whole situation with their running back. Like that was Irsay. That wasn't the family.
Yeah.
That was Irsay. So,
Mhm.
you get it. It came with the good. It also came with the bad. So,
Right. Yeah. So obviously, sad for the family and the Colts at large. They're already, I'm sure, working on a patch for him for their uniforms for this season. They may have already had it. I don't even know. So yeah. Obviously, that's a situation that they'll be dealing with. And anytime anybody's playing the Colts on the road, I'm sure the home stadium is gonna, they're gonna say something about it. So
sure.
yeah. There was one last thing I wanted to talk about in the football section, and it's my kicker, Jake Moody. Last
Won me a
season,
championship.
yeah. Last season, in the final 9 games of the year, he missed 9 of his 20 attempts. So, for a conversion rate, that's 55%. Excuse me, 55%. Uh, um, that being
Miss
said,
Miss
not
number
good.
11 won me my championship. Thank you,
Yeah,
Jake. Mwah.
not not good, not good. So before he had an ankle injury, he was coming back from an ankle injury after that. Before the ankle injury, he was 13 of 14, and then he got hurt in week 5 when he was trying to make a tackle. Um, Maybe that'll learn him. You're the kicker. You don't make tackles. That's not your job. I get, like we all love the effort. We all love to see it. But then when something like this happens, he came back and he was just not right.
Not everyone's Pat
So,
McAfee, man. You don't get that
so
highlight reel.
yeah, yeah. So he's been retooling his kicking motion going forward. He's basically since middle school, it sounds like he's been doing this like 3-step approach where it's like the first step is kind of a stutter and then a go. Like it's like a stutter and then
So kind of
stutter
like a
step for
PK.
1 and then 2, 3 kick.
Kind of like a PK.
A little bit, yeah. So it
penalty
sounds like
kick,
now
if
he's
they
getting
go
rid of the stutter step and he's just going to do those straight 2-step approach. 1, 2, kick. Okay. And
Okay,
so he's
lots to
been
think
working
about.
on that. It sounds like, and he's basically giving up a little bit of distance, trading it for accuracy. Okay. He's been working with a kicking coach. It sounds like it's still going well. It sounds like it's going well, and he's still able to hit 65. So I mean, he
Oh,
came out. He was
what a
somebody who has
travesty. He can't hit 70 anymore, but he can
yeah,
hit 65.
yeah. He doesn't have like if he's very very lucky and he's with the wind, he might still be able to get 70. Like but he's I mean, this is the stuff that I would like to hear. The Niners did sign a veteran kicker. I don't remember his name. He's been on like 6 teams in 6
This
years.
is Moody's last
That
year, right? This is it. Right?
well, this is his make or break year, I believe. Yeah.
Right.
It's his 3rd season, I believe. So yeah. So this is like if he's fixed it, if he's figured it out, this is going to be good. I'm glad he got it retooled. He got his mind right, and maybe may last year just be thrown into the dustbin of history with everything else about that season for the Niners. If it was just that. If he gets the yips again, I think this will be the last season with the Niners, and they'll probably cut him in the offseason or cut him earlier if there's another kicker that's actually available. And,
yeah, I was gonna say, do you think he doesn't make training camp if it's a situational woe?
Well, if it's possible, if he misses, especially if he misses egregiously on like if he tries to get a 55-yarder and misses that, I'm not going to worry about it too much. But if he's missing a 35-yarder, if he misses an extra point during preseason, suddenly that seat gets a lot hotter. And if he misses a couple of them, I think he's cut. The way that they started paying these players, especially the Fred Warner restructure, the George Kittle, the Brock Purdy, they basically have set it up to open up a 2-year window for Super Bowl contention. Okay. So you got to think, and if the kicker is going to lose you games, they're not going to tolerate it right now at this point, because they think that they've got 2 more years at it right now, the way it stands, the way the money is set up and everything. So I think that this is no patience time for the kicker. Sure. And it sounds like he's been working on getting it right. He's not, off going full Janikowski, partying and then just showing up to kick to pay for the drinking habit.
Can't all be
no.
him.
Yeah, we can't all be Janikowski. Janikowski was a pro at that, a pro's pro. He could do it like not anybody else can.
Dude, I still think elite. I know Janikowski is one of the best kickers of all time. Like, we could arguably say that he probably is, right? Mm-hmm. If football never became his passion, he was a hockey player. Through and through, he was a hockey player. Like, I don't care what anyone is. He was probably a defensive end, checking people all day long.
Right. Sam's actually in the chat. He's not on today, but he is in the chat. He says, if we're talking kicking, AJ Cole is now the wealthiest punter in the league, signed a new deal with the Raiders, well-deserved all-pro. Punter getting paid. Love to see that,
Yeah, AJ Cole signed a $15.8 million contract. So, heck yeah, man. He's definitely been one of the top.
Raiders got the money to spend. They're spending it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to go to the ether if you don't spend it, so you might as well spend it. So,
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
good for AJ Cole. He's definitely been one of the top punters in the league here. So
Yeah,
um,
totally. So
that's what the Raiders do, man. I don't know who their scouting department is, but even King was one of those punters that you're like, I can't believe he didn't make another roster afterwards. He was just so amazing to fun to watch. On top of that, too. So
totally. He had too much of a personality. That was
I
his
agree.
problem.
Yeah, yeah.